The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide. No one will let them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online. Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Hello and welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV here tonight with the ASRS Cup Series here, the Twitchy Race Reports Cup Series here from Dover Speedway. Joining me in booth tonight, as always, I'm Brandon Krutz, Corey Silva, and Evan Black. Corey Silva doubling as our tech producer every night. So, guys, here at Dover, the Monster Mile here tonight, and should be a good show.
Yeah, it's a very difficult 1 mile track here, the Monster Mile. They obviously call it that for a reason. Very high banked, very high speeds, but very close quarters, so these drivers will have to be on their game every single lap.
Yeah, this track is really hard to pass at, and just especially coming out of turn number 2, the wall gets there really close.
Yeah, absolutely, Evan, and if these guys wreck, they're not going to have anywhere to go. We see the big wrecks happen here all the time, and it's always because, you know, something will get turned out to the inside or to the outside, and they'll slide down the banking and in front of all the traffic, and it just makes a big mess.
Yeah, just past halfway in qualifying right now. Jeff Ward on top of the speed charts.
Ward, remember, he finished second at Richmond, and he won last week at Kentucky, so a very good start to the season for Jeff Warden, and he will be continuing that trend with most likely a pole position here tonight.
Only 6 drivers have not made a lap, so very likely he will get the pole.
There were over 50 entries for tonight's race here at the Dover Speedway. As most weeks with the ASRS series, there is a lot of participation, a lot of people that want to be in this race, but obviously almost 20 drivers got sent home, and the top 36 are here tonight, and about 3.5 minutes of qualifying to go, but I don't know if anybody else is going to take a lap, so I believe our grid may be set, and we'll have to confirm that. We'll take this opportunity. Something we do want to bring up for those who haven't followed us on social media is our NASCAR night. I think Brandon can give us a little information on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Our NASCAR night here on PTR TV. You know, basically a night that's going to be full of real-life NASCAR drivers. It's presented by the Hardline Racing League, will be broadcast on PTR TV. It's going to be February 8th, 2018 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 70 laps around the Charlotte Motor Speedway daytime. The NASCAR Xfinity vehicles fixed at up 40% fuel. Stage caution at lap 25 and 30% track starting state. The field is going to be capped at 30 drivers. All drivers in any of the leagues that we cover currently will be invited. You can go to our Facebook and get the entry list and fill out your name and everything there. And So far, the confirmed NASCAR drivers that will be there are Spencer Boyd, Garrett Smithley, Brandon Brown, and Jesse Awuji. A couple NASCAR affiliates, Colin Fern and Dalen Barr, also going to be there. Primary sponsor so far is Movement Fabrications. They're going to put up a few dollars to the race winner. So, you know, it'll be a really good show, guys. Come and compete with us if you're in any of the leagues that we cover. If you're not, then go ahead, tune in with us and watch us that night. Should be a very good show for sure.
Yeah, it should be. I believe we've already had around 25 drivers in total all signed up.
Yeah, a lot of guys trying to get into this thing already. So, you know, it'll be really interesting.
We have a couple drivers from this league that will be representing the ASRS guys in that race, so doing our best to publicize that. Some prizes on the line, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. But not to take anything away from the upcoming race we have tonight at Dover for the Premier Cup Series. Is qualifying again soon to wrap up. We can let you know the point standings very quickly. Actually, Nicholas Cohan is your points leader after the first two races of the season by 3 over Jeff Ward. And then we have, let's just get a little bit more information. We have Drew Carroll, Brian Yazik, and Jordan Ashland in the top 5. So we'll keep an eye on those drivers and see how they fare tonight.
So what do you guys expect the fuel window to be here tonight at Dover?
Well, that's a good question, Evan.
It requires a good answer, doesn't it?
Yeah, that I don't have. You know, I don't really have much experience with fuel mileage here at the Dover International Speedway, but, you know, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of strategy played, like always.
Yeah, and the cautions, I'm sure, will have a serious effect on that, but as the qualifying session has ended, these drivers will assemble onto the grid, and we will get you the PTR TV starting lineup here for the ASRS Series Premier Cup Series at Dover. On tonight's poll is Jeff Ward with his lap time of 22.663 seconds. We offer him our congrats on that lap, and then we have Drew Carroll to the outside pole. In row 2 will be Jordan Ashland with Alex Giese in the 4th spot. In 5th is Nicholas Cohan, and then we have Scott Eckrich, Sam Maxwell, Michael Krobik, Jonathan Holstein, and Devin Serra, the top 10.
And Jared Mogart starting in 11th, Jordan Harnish in 12th, Ryan Hartz in 13th, Steve Ritter in 14th, Tom Gianni in 15th, and then Jamie Moore, Mark Emerson, Alan Young, Jared Haggerty, and John Kennedy running at the top 20.
Starting in the 21st position is Woody Mahan, then it's Troy Hape, Jim Foos, Jay Graves Jr., Steve Bula, Chris Titus, Tim Knott, Ian Hayes, Brad Cross, and Scott Smith rounding out the top 30.
Rounding out the field is Tyler Seville, Jason Stewart 32nd, Brian Yazik 33rd, Mitch Brown 34th, Jack Ritchie, and David Howard Jr. And actually a little bit more than that, I thought it was over. Josh Gallagher, Scott Haller, 38 drivers on the grid here tonight.
Which only 36 will be starting, I believe. Of the ones you listed, Jack Ritchie and Josh Gallagher did not make the race.
Yeah, there may have been a couple drivers in maybe just as fill-ins in case someone didn't transfer over, but per what Evan said, 36 drivers will be taking the high banks of Dover tonight in just a matter of a minute or so once we get the pace car rolling.
So that is your starting lineup here for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Dover International Speedway. About 36 drivers will be taking the green flag tonight, and boy, it should be a good show.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of drivers for Dover.
It has been a good show for the first 2 weeks that we've brought you this league, so I do see absolutely no reason why tonight would be any different. We'll see how the dynamic track comes into play. We saw it working at Kentucky. Very curious to see how it'll work here at the Monster Mile.
I do believe these guys get 2 pace laps around this place at grid here, but yeah, look at that field, ladies and gentlemen. It should be a very good race here tonight. A lot of drivers here in the ASRS Cup Series waiting to take the green flag, ready to go fast.
We should be going green this time by, Brandon, I do believe.
This is coming to the green.
All right, so yeah, pace car drops down into pit lane. The 90 is on the throttle. Green flag is in the air.
And
Go ahead, Corey.
Say, that was a heck of a jump there on the loud pedal very quickly for Jeff Ward. Ends up getting about a 2-car length advantage as the top 10 is very spread out already.
Yeah, these drivers, they usually get pretty spread out. Single file right after the restart in this league, it seems like.
Yeah, you can already see the 85 of Drew Carroll is trying to get a run on the 90 already. Maybe trying to use a little bit of those tires and get that advantage early, but you can see the snake around the inside lane all the way through the back of the pack, but we do have some side-by-side going on.
And look at the speeds that they're currently carrying through the corners, upward of 150 miles an hour on exit of the corner so far. Unbelievable here in the high banks of Dover. And the speeds that these guys carry. These guys doing an awesome job so far, keeping the race cars underneath them.
Yeah, right now we have the 70 of Jonathan Holstein. He is stuck on the outside. A lot of tight quarters racing as he's trying to hold on to that position. He had the 54 Jordan Harnish underneath, but was not able to do anything with it. And now Steve Ritter to the inside of Tom Gianni. That's for the 14th spot.
Yeah, it looks like no one wants to be on the outside right now. Everyone that's up there is just dropping back.
Some of these guys maybe trying to fight for position. It looks like there could be a battle heating up between the 57 and the 88s. It's Nicholas Cohan and Scott Eckridge.
Coming off turn number 4, they were a lot closer, but the 57 got a pretty good run on corner exit, but you could see Eckridge running a lot lower through the center of the turn, and that is kind of giving him a little bit of a disadvantage on corner exit.
57 drifts up a little bit that time. The 88's looking to dunk underneath. Not going to make it happen that time. By off of turn 4.
See how the Dover International Speedway is shaped here. These drivers really, when they enter the turn, it's almost as if they're dropping off a roller coaster. There's a huge banking dip, but on the back end of that, oops, someone hard on the wall that we caught. Caution.
Caution flag is in the air.
The big one on the back straightaway. We have someone upside down. That is the number 28, I believe. Yeah, the 28 of Troy Haight was barrel rolling down the back straightaway.
The 82 of Jamie Moore had contact with the 89, and that just put him in the wall.
The 28 machine, Troy Haight, going for a wild ride down the back straightaway, collecting a few other cars. Upside down on his roof, all the way down the back straightaway there. Finally upgraded up onto his wheels, but that was a parking lot down there, guys.
Yeah, you just saw the blue car there came up a little bit into the number 28 who barrel rolled, and naturally at Dover it just made the back straightaway a junkyard. There's just nowhere to go. Everyone came to a stop, and that eventually was the yellow on lap number 7.
And here comes the field down pit road for the first time already.
Everybody except Nicholas Cohan.
He only ran 6 laps. We'll see how much of a difference that makes in tires, as he is all alone out there.
I mean, I wouldn't be too worried. I think track position here at Dover is more paramount than a couple lap fresher tires, but maybe it was a little bit concerning just kind of being the Lone Ranger out there.
See a couple cars behind them staying out, but I think 2 of them have pretty major damage and they'll be coming down pit road.
I think a couple of those drivers were still trying to get caught up to the field before they were able to get to pit road. They were still trying to turn themselves around on the back straightaway.
It will be interesting to see how those drivers can get themselves repaired, and can we confirm, I always seem to forget, can we confirm if there is a backup car tonight?
They do not have a fast repair / backup car.
So that damage will have to be repaired the old-fashioned way. Get out the hammers, get out the bear bond, and see if you can get yourself up to speed after those repairs are done.
Looks like Cohan is sticking to his plan and is going to stay out.
And it looks like Jason Stewart's staying out with him.
Stewart, remember the 2017 Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Champion, got that win on fuel mileage. But in the Cup Series here, he has not had the greatest of starts, but he'll use the strategy and start this from the outside pole, well, outside position on the restart, rather.
Lights are out on the pace car. They'll be coming back to the green next time by.
Jamie Moore calling it a night here. He taking it behind the wall. He is done for the night.
The first fly has dropped so far. We'll see how everybody else is able to maintain here. Let's see what kind of start we get. If we can get another spread out start, let's see what Cohan has up his sleeve for this restart as they come through turns number 3 and 4. Wait for that iRacing.com pace car to take the hard left onto the Dover pit lane. There it is. And gonna be a little bit of a slower start here from Cohan. And he's on the loud pedal. We're back underway. It's a
big wreck.
Behind him.
One car up and over.
Flag is in the air. Oh no! One car riding someone else down the front straightaway.
Looks like Jason Stewart spun the tires.
Yeah, that was.
And everyone behind him just wrecked. One car up and over. I believe that's Sam Maxwell.
I was afraid that was going to happen at some point tonight, guys. I didn't think it would happen this early, however. Sam Maxwell went for a wild ride down the front straightaway.
On board with Stewart on the outside lane. Good to see that. And just that one move, yes, that was Sam Maxwell.
Yeah,
he
Sam
went
Maxwell.
upside down.
He spun the tires as well. Quite a few drivers spun the tires, actually.
That
About
was
3 or 4 did.
a wild restart there. Sam Maxwell ending up upside down and getting carried down the front straightaway on the hood of.
Yeah, you could just see as Maxwell got on the throttle there, just hooked hard to the right, and the number 20 machine just drove directly underneath him. 20 of Devin Serra. And again, just another parking lot on the front straightaway here. At least we weren't up to speed entirely, so the damage, at least the impacts, weren't as severe if we have a stack of waiting for the pace car.
Wow. So a lot of guys with damage to the race cars now.
But not really the start that I don't think we expected, at least here tonight, for these guys, given how the first 2 races have been. But we always have to remember that Dover is not the easiest track, so incidents are more prone.
Yeah, and this track is not very wide, so if there is a wreck, it's really hard to avoid being caught up in it.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially on the restarts like that, it's hard to avoid any wreck like that in a restart, but here especially, you got cars that, even on the straightaways, the banking is just so much, the cars are not going to be able to stay at the top of the racetrack. They're going to slide down in front of the rest of the field. It was a big mess.
Big mess, to say it bluntly, but that'll be the second yellow flag of the race, and with his stay-out strategy, Cohan will will keep the lead. He didn't really have to do much work to keep it because he never even got into third gear, it seemed like, but it just kind of gives you a little bit of a learning for later on, is you're just going to have to be really careful. And we saw everyone that really got the wheel spin was in the outside lane, so those drivers in that lane are just going to have to use extra caution.
Yeah, I saw there was, I think it was the 77 of Alex Casey. He spun the tires on the inside lane. He did a nice job of hanging on to it. Just especially when you're in the corners, it's really hard to get wheel spin, or really easy to get wheel spin.
There are times where, especially if you're about maybe 8th on back, when that leader gets on the loud pedal, gets on the green flag to get this race underway, you're still in the turn. You're getting on the gas on corner exit on a high bank sharp turn. It is kind of a difficult position to be in.
So once again, we are back under control of the pace car here.
We do want to give a quick shout out to Track Cam's 4 Gourmets. If you like the views that we are giving here tonight with the camera angles, check him out, facebook.com/trackgams. Talk to Istvan, see if you can get a deal worked out where you can have the same views that we have here tonight on PTR TV. Remember, Cohan is the points leader. He has a 3-point lead over Jeff Ward. Ward is in the second position, but he did pit on the prior caution, so he does have a little bit fresher tires, and I don't even think that he was able to get a heat cycle on them, so he should still have that maximum advantage, I would believe. Should be getting the one to go this time by as we take lap number 14 when we come to the stripe, and with all the damage repairs that have occurred, we're down to 29 drivers on the lead lap, last of those being Scott Haller in 29th, as we said.
Only 2 drivers have gone behind the wall, Jamie Moore and Troy Hayes.
There are 34 drivers on the speedway right now. The one in the worst position is Chris Titus. He is 4 laps behind.
Yeah, the lights are out on the pace car.
Yep, so that is the call. We'll get this race going for a 3rd time here as we try to get this race clean, try to get these guys up to speed cleanly this time. Ohan in the 57 will be the control car. He will have Jeff Ward, last week's winner, on the outside. Drew Carroll to the inside. Scott Eckrich to the outside of row number 2. And the only guy on the older tires is Cohan, but we will see how that is able to fare for him as we get going here to take lap number 15.
So as the pace car heads down the back straightaway, these guys stacked up, doubled up, and ready to take the green flag once again here. Evan, why don't you take us away for this restart?
Okay, pace car in turns number 3 and 4 now. These drivers are really going to need to watch for wheel spin, even on these fresh tires. The pace car getting ready to pull down into pit road. It does. Now waiting on Cohan to get us back underway. And Cohen is still waiting. Wait, start here. He is back on the throttle. We were back underway. A lot slower restart that time.
Oh, so a little bit of wheel spin I still saw back with the 72 machine of Michael Krobik, but he is able to gain control of that car back, and we do carry on single file, and we're back with a much better restart.
Clean and green so far. These guys back up to race speed once again. 57 trying to hold off the 90.
Jeff Ward with those fresher tires is doing a really nice job. He's right to the back bumper of Cohan entering turn number 1.
Heading down through turns number 1 and 2 right now. 57 to Cohan right back there at the 90. Trying to sneak up on his back bumper now, but they could have company from behind the 90. Looks to the inside out of turn number 3.
Cohan running high in 3 and 4, giving Ward the lane. Turn number 4 down the front straight away. Jeff Ward looking to the inside. Can't do anything yet.
The outside prevails that time by the 87 to the 88 and possibly the 27 looking to join the battle as well. Looks like to be about 6 cars under a blanket. The 90, big move down to the bottom of the racetrack, down into turn number 3.
Yeah, this might be the run that he needs. He's side by side, and he's going to have the run off corner exit. It's very hard to run the outside here at Dover, but the 57's doing a very masterful job of doing it and is still holding him off.
Now 85 of Drew Carroll trying to get under Cohan as Jeff Ward. It looks like he got a little bit tight there and had to get off the throttle.
Cohan being passed by a couple of drivers. Now
oh, 27.
27, a massive save down through the corner.
Yeah, we'll go back and watch very quickly what happened to Ashland there. We didn't catch it live on camera. There was some contact with the 59 of Ryan Hartz, and how did he save that car?
He's just that daggone good, Corey.
That was, I mean, we've said that line a couple times, but that was one of the best saves I've seen in quite some time as the battle is on for third right now. Cohan is in the clutches of Scott Eckrich, who's on the inside of him, and clears it for that third position.
Yeah, Cohan got into the wall just a little bit, battling for the lead with Ward. I don't think it damaged the car any, but he just lost all his momentum.
And battle a little bit ways back with Alex Giese trying to get by Ryan Hartz, who was just involved in that little scruffle right there. As we come down the back straightaway, Giese is doing what he can, running a little bit higher. That's going to open the door for Krobek, who took a look to the inside, but he also washed up the track, so they will stay in orderly fashion off turn 4.
Up front now, Cohan back to the 4th position. The 90, 85, and 88 all took the position away from him. Looks like he's holding strong in the 4th position now.
It's kind of hard to tell if that's tires or just that they're faster than him, because he started back in 5th, and that's about where he's running now.
Yeah, good point, Evan.
Side by side, Brian Yazik underneath the number... Brian Yazik underneath John Kennedy in the 89. Sorry for that, but that is a pass for the 11th position that we have. Everybody else seems to be running pretty orderly. We'll go a little bit ways back. I see some activity going on. We have the 20 of Devin Serra trying to make a pass on Jordan Harnish.
They're going to be side by side. 20 machine getting loose down off the corner that time by, now heading down into turn number 1. 54 to the back bumper of the 40 machine in front of them.
Yeah, Woody Mahan trying to make some moves here on Alan Young in the 24, trying to do that little bit of a crossover, get a higher run through the center, cut lower on corner exit. That got him right to the back bumper and set him up for a pass in turn 1. Well, not quite.
20 machine looking underneath the 54 now, not going to happen that time by. These guys head down the back straightaway, heading down into turn number 3, down to 6 is right onto the back bumper of the 20.
Yeah, that's Jared Haggerty trying to make some action up right now. He's in the 19th spot.
54 gets really loosed out off of turn number 4. He's going to save it. A big save by him.
That was Jordan Harnish. We just spoke about him in the 54. He had another power save off turn number 4. Now he's going to have the 22 of Mark Emerson using that momentum that the 54 lost to try to make a pass, but they both wash up the track there in 3 and 4.
The leaders are coming up on the lap traffic.
Jeff Ward.
Tim Knott and Brad Cross.
Ward takes it to the inside, tries to get underneath the 41 and does so successfully, but the 41's not going to roll over dead. He's going to try to fight, at least for the time being. Holds him up through 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's going to allow the 85 of Carroll to catch up to him, as now the 41 is letting him go by.
And Eckrich in the 88, he's right at the end of this train. He's going to get himself in the action. He's going to catch up through these lap traffic. And who do we have in front of the 90 right now?
Brad Cross.
Oh, to the inside wall, hard hit by the 40 machine. No! Collected by more cars. Heavy, heavy impact. Caution flag is on the speedway.
Yeah.
I think that car's probably done for the night. Heavy impact with another vehicle.
Yeah, let's go back on replay, and it was Woody Mahan. We're following him through turn number 1 and 2 right now, and
Mark Emerson.
He just had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, and a heavy impact with the 40 machine.
oh, that, as you said, Evan, the way Dover works out, you go low, you hit the inside wall, you bounce right back into the middle of the track, and Mark Emerson just a sit and duck. But here we come. We have pit stops. And nope.
Mahan has taken it behind the wall.
Nobody's staying on the track right now, so everybody wants to get those Goodyear Eagles changed on their vehicles. We'll see who gets the battle off pit road. Very tight pit road we have here at Dover, but these drivers will have to be really careful at the exit of the pits, and not a lot of space to navigate exiting the stalls. Drew Carroll. Yeah, the 85. Give that pit crew a little bit of extra credit because they will get that 85 out on pit lane first. I do see Tom Gianni being registered. Oh, he was being registered as the leader.
He just got the lucky dog, so he was ahead of them. Now he's letting them go.
.30 laps will be here in the books at Dover International Speedway for the Twitchy Race Reports ASRS Premier Cup Series here on PTR TV. Hope everyone has enjoyed the action both on YouTube and on Facebook. If you haven't liked and subscribed on either of the two mediums, we would greatly appreciate if you do. And as we talked about earlier, check out our NASCAR night. A lot of information on that on social media. We're really wanting to make that a huge event on the iRacing service, so we need the help of the fans to make that event the biggest it can be. So again, check that out if you haven't already done so.
So back under pace speed once again after a huge impact between a couple of drivers down on the back straightaway. I don't think we've seen any small wrecks tonight so far, guys.
Yeah, especially with the field size we had. I mean, we talked about with Dover being a very difficult track to get around any kind of incident. And you have 34, 36 drivers out there. I mean, in some ways, it's kind of just asking for a mess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 125 lap race, less than 100 to go now. We're currently on lap 30.
And so we had enough of a run. I think we kind of got to see who's made of what. And I did see, and I think it carries with what we saw last week at Kentucky. I know Evan was there with me for that one. That the 90 is very good on the short run, but I don't know if it's his driving style, but I don't know if he is a long run driver. I did see the 88 of Eckrich starting to creep up there, so I'm gonna keep my eye on that.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. And now lights go off on top of the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car, giving the drivers the one to go signal. They're back at the starter stands. These guys get stacked up, doubled up, and ready for the restart here once again at Dover.
As we take this restart, we are down to now what will be 26 drivers on the lead lap. Jason Stewart in the 11th, the last one to be on the lead lap, so the field is shrinking in that regard, but let's see what we can do. Coming for the next restart of the race.
Pace car ready to pull down onto pit road. Does there. Now waiting on Drew Carroll to get this race back underway. He does. Green flag is back in the air.
And the 90, I'll tell you, on the outside got absolutely nowhere. And that's going to give Cohan the second position before they enter turn one.
No, the outside is not the place to be on these restarts, it seems. Now, these guys try to get single file once again, but a little bit of too wide racing going on behind these guys.
Yeah, that's Jared Mogard stuck on the outside lane as he lets the 59 car Ryan Hartz by, and the 72 of Michael Krobeck taking a look at it, but is not able to make it.
These guys single out now looking back up towards the front of this thing. It looks like Nicholas Cohan trying to make up some ground on the 85 machine. Current leader Drew Carroll.
Oh, wrecked in the back straightaway.
Caution
Steve Ritter
is in the air once again. Steve Ritter down the back straightaway. Looks like collected by the 5 machine, also collected up in that mess.
On board with Ritter here as we navigate through turns 1 and 2. He's taking a look underneath the 5 of Scott Haller. And it's like he got hit in the right rear.
Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. That looks like a lot of netcode to me.
Yeah, it did to me as well.
For those of you who don't know what netcode is, or, you know, maybe newer to the iRacing service, don't quite know what it is yet, netcode is basically internet issues, the servers think there's contact when there's not, and you know, these sim racers, we're used to it. Those of you in the real world may be thinking, well, it's unexpected. I mean, that's kind of unfair, but you know, these sim racers know what they're getting into. They know what happens, and unfortunately, we don't see it as often as we used to, but unfortunately, when it happens, it can happen big, and that caused a wreck there on the back straightaway.
Yeah, it was
happening now.
It was definitely a close situation regardless, but I think there may have been, as you guys said, a little bit of a outside situation that may have took that to the next level, but fortunately for the 16, he got the worst end of the stick there, so we have someone getting the lucky dog right now. I can't quite tell who that was. I think it was Brad Cross in the 30.
I guess it was.
Heavy damage to that 30 machine, but I think that is pretty carried on throughout the most of the field here. A lot of these drivers have some beat up vehicles. Should get the 1 to go, or so at least believe we will this time by, and we will be completing, I believe, our 4th caution of the race. Yes, we have 4 cautions already, 14 caution laps, so not the start we were expecting, but there's per tradition, the races always do have a pretty good green flag run. It's just kind of almost just a native fact of all races. You will get going, and let's hope that this next restart is the one.
Yeah, whites are still on the pace car, so should get 1 degree next time back.
We can do a very quick rundown here of at least the top 15 positions. Hopefully we maybe get to the top 20. Leading the race right now is Drew Carroll. In the 2nd spot we have Cohan, and then we have Jeff Ward in 3rd, Scott Eckrich in 4th, Gordon Ashland in 5th. We have Ryan Hart in 6th, Jared Mogard 7th, Michael Krobik in 8th, Brian Yazik in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 at the moment is Alex Giese.
Jonathan Holstein in 11th, Alan Young in 12th, Mitch Brown in 13th, Devin Sayre in 14th, and then Jared Haggerty right at the top 15.
To finish out the top 20, we have Jordan Harnish, we have Scott Smith, we have John Kennedy, and then 19th Tom Gianni and Jim Foose, the 42, rounding out the top 20 here, as we do have, well, we haven't got there quite yet. I was predicting the future. And I predict that we will get 1 to go. Ooh, I'm a genius. I should go buy a scratch ticket. Woo! Well, let's see what the 85 of Drew Carroll can do. He has yet to be in this position as the leader on a restart. Cohan knows what it's like to lead, but he does not know what it's like to be on the outside in P2. So let's see how he can manage the wheel spin up there.
So once again, these guys stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back green flag racing here. Hopefully a little bit longer than what we have been so far. These guys doing a great job here tonight, however. You know, Dover is Dover, and it is a very, very tough racetrack. These guys trying to tame this racetrack, doing a very good job right now.
And they don't call it the Monster Mile for nothing.
So the field heads down through turns 3 and 4 behind the iRacing.com Ford Mustang GT pace car. Pace car makes its way down into pit lane, waiting for Drew Carroll to get it back on the loud pedal. Here they go. They're on the throttle. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, did a pretty nice job to manage the wheel spin. He's still going to be side by side with the 85 of Carroll into turn 1.
Heading down through turns 1 and 2, down onto the back straightaway right now. They're going to be side by side, heading down into turn number 3.
Yeah, the 57's doing the best he can. He's all the way on the Larson line there. That line's not quite working yet, so he will relinquish the 2nd position, and that'll open the door.
Really good run. He's gonna, oh, he turns him down into turn 1. Hard impact down into turn number 1.
Big wreck.
Pile up out there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right, we didn't quite have the best view of that on camera, so let's go back on replay and see what we can establish from it.
I cannot believe it. and that was completely unintentional, guys. You know, obviously they wouldn't do anything like that on purpose, but it was a crossover gone wrong is what it was. 57 went to go cross over the 85, and the 90 rear-ended both of those drivers. 57, Cohan taking a really hard lick to the inside wall there.
Yeah, he just had so much of a run, and I don't know if he was trying to maybe just give him a little bit of a friendly bump draft or not, but he was not lined up for it, so that turned quite catastrophic for the 85.
Yeah, he had so much momentum off that corner. He was not going to be able to get checked up on time. He tried to cross him over, and unfortunately, it was one of those racing incidents that you very rarely see with a speed difference, but man, oh man, a big wreck down into turn number 1.
Yep, and we will have yet another set of pit stops. A little bit surprising to me that we're on pit road already, but nonetheless we are. So let's see who can get the run off of pit road, whose crew is on their game. And off pit road will be the 90.
Ryan Hart's going to have pit road second. He started back in 13th, so good run for him.
All right, but we will take this opportunity to go to the first side-by-side break of the race. We'll be right back with you for the restart, so stay with us.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back for the restart. Here these guys stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back green flag racing after that hard wreck down into turn number 1. These guys heading through turn number 2 onto the back straightaway now behind the iRacing.com base car.
Yeah, new face up there on the first row outside. Ryan Hart's working his way up there. Had a good pit stop to get him up second.
So as these guys head down through turns 3 and 4, Corey, why don't you take us away for this restart?
All right, here we come. The 90 of Jeff Ward in the prime position. The 59 of Ryan Hart's to the outside, and Jeff Ward wasting no time at all. He's on the loud pellet green flag, back underway.
The
Battle
90
for-
with a great run down into turn number 1.
Battle for second between Eckrich and Hartz. Eckrich on the inside. It looks like he will clear Hartz, and now the 00 Mogard trying to get under Hartz for the 3rd position.
Side by side, heading down the back straightaway into turn number 3. A lot of close racing going on. Hart's trying to defend that position on the outside.
Yeah, Hart's doing a nice job on the outside. Usually that is not where he wants to be on the restart, but he did a nice job to hang on to 3rd.
00 falling back just a little bit now. He lost that position, or wasn't able to gain that position from Hartz, rather. And it looks like a lot of close racing going on behind these guys. It looks like the 20 machine looking underneath the 24 now. They're going to be side by side off of turn number 4.
Devin Sarah trying to get under Alan Young. He can't do anything quite yet. Out of turn number 4, they both got a little bit loose. Down into turn 1, Devin trying to take a look to the inside. Just can't do anything.
No, not going to happen that time. Behind now, heading down the back straight away. The battle still continues as Sarah trying to make a move to the inside once again. Allen slips up to the outside.
Sarah and Young both get pretty even runs out of 4 and down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Devin Sarah trying to dive in under Alan Young, but Young is doing a really nice job on the outside, pinching Sarah down just a little bit.
24 Young on the outside, and now tucked behind him is the 20 of Sarah.
And behind them is Jordan Harnish, who is catching both of these drivers.
I was about to say, don't look now, but here comes the 54 machine into the picture.
Yeah, Jordan Harnish, remember he was involved in a couple incidents earlier in the race, but he's gotten that thing repaired and got his track position back as he's in the top 10 right now, but he can't watch out too far because he has Jared Haggerty in the 6th closing on him.
Michael Krobik and Steve Ritter have gone behind the wall. They are done.
Off turn 4 right now, Evan, we have the side-by-side battle. We have Brian Yazik with John Kennedy. This is for 10th and 11th. You can see Yazik trying to make that outside work. 89 drifts up, falls back in the line. Now Mitch Brown taking the opportunity to get to the inside of John Kennedy. It's Kennedy. That is, I mean, he's running the cushion here, but we're not at Eldora. That didn't work for him, and he lost a bunch of time. Back to 12th.
He's back on exit, though.
Maybe he figured.
Back bumper of Mitch Brown.
Maybe he figured something out, but.
Would look to quickly point out Brad Cross is done for the night. He took it behind the wall as well.
Battle for the lead. Scott Eckrich under Jeff Ward will clear him for the lead.
The 88 is your new leader down into turn number 1 here. The 90 machine couldn't quite hold on. And look at the speed of the 88 machine.
Yeah,
That was just a power move by the 88. He just dove it into turn 3 and cleared him out of 4.
Now let's try to.
Showing it was worth it, guys, because he's pulling away.
Now we'll go back on the replay and show that pass for the lead as it happened. You could just see it through the center of the turn. 90 washes up, 88 takes a look, and he just got such a better run off of turn number 2. Got down the back straightaway and pretty easy pass through 3 and 4.
Now Ryan Howard's trying to get around Jeff Ward. Both drivers run pretty even lap times right now. Looks like Hartz is a little bit quicker.
Yeah, something that I remember talking about it on a prior restart when we were under yellow, and the 88, remember, he seems to be a better long run driver. We've kind of learned some tendencies with the drivers. Ward gets out to those quick stints, but doesn't seem to have the long run pace.
Could also be something with the setups.
Yeah, definitely a possibility as well, Evan.
Yeah, last time around the circuit right here, the lead battle is 4/10 apart. We'll show the lap times, see who's the fastest in the top 5, and without surprise, that is the number 88 by about a 10th over the 90.
Heading down off of turn number 4.
We'll keep it up this time by and see who was the fastest this last time around the circuit, and it indeed. Brown still goes in the 88's back pocket, but the 90 was not far off that last lap. Maybe he's adjusted his line and found something.
Yeah, Ryan Hartz has fallen off of the back bumper of Jeff Ward. He's kind of fallen back into the clutches of Jared Mogard.
Yeah, he still has a little bit of ways to go before he has immediate battle with Bogart, so he has some time to just try to figure himself out. But here comes Devin Sarah trying to get under Alan Young. This is for the 5th position.
Young's getting a real good run out of turn number 2. He will clear Sarah, and now Jordan Harnish trying to get by Sarah as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Harnish in the 54 had a rocky start to the race, but I'll tell you, he is really recovering here as we are about 1/3 distance or so throughout this race, trying to get himself in the top 5.
Sarah still trying to defend the position now.
Caution.
Onto the speedway.
Steve Buhala in the 43, smoking and coming to the pits with some heavy damage.
It's like the 8 of Jake Graves.
Yeah, him and the 8 got tangled together, and those were 2 race cars that were already damaged. Neither of them had a front end on those cars. They made contact going down the back straightaway, down into turn number 3. Around went the 8 machine, the 43 up into the wall.
Yeah, well, I want to get a little bit of a look at that. That almost looked like a little, as we were talking earlier about net code. Hey.
There definitely was contact either way.
Oh.
They kind of came into each other there.
Yeah, the 8 came up and
yeah, well,
down.
that looked like that was just authentic. You were where I thought you weren't, and I just really just drifting into each other's lanes there. So that seemed like a pretty authentic incident, but it will bring, yet again, everyone to the attention of their pit crews.
The field making their way down pit road once again.
We saw Jeff Ward leading the race, and he had to relinquish the lead as the 88 got that long run speed figured out, was able to get by, but let's see if the pit crew can hold that position for him.
And Eckridge slid through his stall a little bit. He had to back up.
Ryan Hart's already completed his service with a 1485 stop, and I can tell you Eckridge had a very slow stop in comparison. It's going to be the 59 of Hart's getting out of pit lane first.
Jeff Ward coming out second, and then Jared Mogart third. Eckridge fell all the way back to 4th.
So the pit crew seeming to have a pretty significant impact on this race already.
It's like about 5 cars trying to take the wave around. Nope, they're coming down pit road, so only one will be getting the wave around. 70 of Jonathan Holstein.
After Holstein gets on the lead lap, that should put 20, actually he will just be getting a lap back. He is 5 down at the moment. So barring the condition of Sam Maxwell, we might have 22 drivers on the lead lap, I do believe. As Buhala is in the pits fixing heavy damage. Chris Titus is fixing heavy damage. We have Jay Graves fixing some heavy damage. And then obviously Holstein, at the rate he's going, he might be able to get the majority of those laps back.
Alex Giese has gone behind the wall. He is done.
And Maxwell has gotten himself as repaired as he could be, but looks like that hood was not repairable, so a little bit of aero disadvantage for the 98 machine. As we approach the halfway point in this race, you are watching the ASRS Premier Cup Series brought to you by Twitchy Race Reports. The Monster Mile 125 here on PTR TV. Bringing the action today is Evan Black, Brandon Krutz, and myself, Corey Silva. Hoping you're enjoying today's race. As we are approaching lap number 61, we have had 6 cautions for 20 laps, 6 lead changes here today. Ryan Hartz, after that battle off pit road, has inherited lead for the first time tonight, and we should have a restart in a matter of a lap or 2.
Should get the one during this time by. I know we said that a lot and not gotten it, but and lights are out on the pace car.
These guys once again will get stacked up, doubled up, and ready for the restart, and I'm sure they're ready to go back green flag racing. Ryan Hart's up there in the front row now.
Yeah, Ryan Hart's inside. Jeff Ward, first row outside, and then Jared Mogard, second row inside, and Scott Eckridge, second row outside.
Well, let's see what the 59 can do with the lead. Let's see what the 90 can do. We know he's a fast run car, but Scott Eckrich is going to have to do the best he can to regain those spots. He's on the outside. He's in fourth. Will he drop back? Will he get back to the front? We'll find out as the iRacing.com pace car soon takes that left into pit lane. Let's see when the 59 decides to get this race back underway. He decides to get it underway early, back on the loud pedal, green flag in the air.
Ryan Hart's on the throttle early. That leaves the other guys in the dust. Now the 9088 and the 00 gonna battle out behind them.
Mogard and Eckrich going, oh, contact.
Almost 3 wide, going down into turn number 3. Couple of guys back out of it, the 88 and the 90 now side by side. 00 underneath the 90 machine now.
Side by side, Ashland on the bottom with no hood. He's trying to battle with the 81 of Mitch Brown. Loses the momentum. Now John Kennedy goes to the outside. And that 27, somehow, I don't know how he's running that fast with that damage, but he is doing a pretty masterful job hanging on to the top 10.
Got on the apron a little bit and got loose out of turn number 4. Lost a little bit of ground now.
Oh, the 5 in the wall on the front straightaway. Lost a whole bunch of time, got really loose. He will relinquish a ton of positions. That was Scott Haller. A lot of drivers struggling with the control on the vehicles here today at Dover.
Meanwhile, up front, it's all Ryan Hart's pulling away from the field now. The 88 machine, Scott Eckrich trying to play catch-up. Not working out for him so far.
But where we saw Eckrich be his best was on the long run, so we'll see if he can do anything with Hartz after around 10 laps or so.
You can really see the line difference here. Ryan Hartz is really taking it up to the top of the rubber there in about the 2.5 lane, but looks like Eckrich is choosing to stay right on the bottom lane. Can't really call it a white line because there is no line, so we'll just call it the bottom lane. But the 59 takes it lower. He's diamonding the turn, something we talk about more at short tracks, but he gets right to the bottom, drifts up in the center, and then cuts it right back to the bottom on corner exit. That gives him the best run he can for corner exit down the straightaways.
Now Eckrich is starting to reel in Hartz just a little bit, it looks like. But he's taking Jeff Ward with him.
You can see Eckrich is starting to run the same line that Hartz is doing. I wonder if that far bottom lane is maybe starting to fade away as the laps take off. Tom Gianni was starting to close in on the 54 of Jordan Harnish, and he really drove it into 3 there in a whole bunch of time, but I don't know if he'll be able to hold it on corner exit. Still a lot of activity on in the early teens in positions right now. We have, who is that? The number 14 machine of David Howard Jr. about to be passed by Sam Maxwell on the 98 through turns 3 and 4. Jim Foose just ahead of this.
Howard got a really good run out of 4 and down the front straightaway, looking to the inside of Foose. Can't do anything quite yet. Out of turn number 2, Foose getting a really good run from the outside lane.
You can see that left front damage on that number 42 machine doesn't seem to be hindering his speed too much, but obviously other drivers have a lot worse damage and are carrying on just fine, so it doesn't seem to be an issue here tonight at Dover.
Absolutely, and you know, Ryan Hart's out front of this thing right now, holding a pretty solid lead. Looks like could be a battle for second place as the 90 machine trying to catch the 88.
Yeah, Jeff Ward, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch the 88, but it looks like he at least is at the moment. But as we said, we expect that 88 to pull away as the run progresses, but maybe Ward has dialed something back or tweaked something in his line, and maybe he's been able to stay with that 88 for longer this time.
Hart's got into the wall a little bit on the front straightaway.
Lost a little bit of momentum, not too much though.
Go on board here with the 59 and kind of watch him drive around this Dover Speedway. Comes down the back straightaway, hits a top speed of about 173 miles an hour. See him do that diamonding approach all the way to the second lane, cuts it right back down to the bottom, and watch that dip as he enters turn 1. So he falls down a hill there, and that really is very difficult to feel in the car. Really throws you around, as you said, nearly into the wall there off turn 2. And the 90.
Wow, big save behind him from the 90 machine, almost to the inside wall there.
That setup, Jared Bogart, gave him a pretty good run. He is right to the bumper of Ward. Let's see if he can complete a pass.
Ward lost a lot of momentum there, didn't lose any positions coins yet. He was right on the back bumper to the 88 machine. Now the 00 ducking underneath him, the 00 Jared Bogart trying to take a position away from him. This is the battle for the 3rd position right now.
Bogart running the higher groove on corner entry than Ward, and the groove Ward run gave him the better momentum that time by at the very least. Caution on the front stretch, caution.
On the front straightaway.
Scott Haller, amongst others, and Hayes.
Down into turn number 1. Oh boy, that looks big.
All right, let's go up on the trusty blimp cam here. We're following Foose in the 42, the 14 machine.
Wow, that's a really weird wreck, guys. It looks like the 56 machine got loose halfway down the straightaway. It's Ian Hayes in the inside wall, collected the 22 and a couple others.
Now on board here with the 14.
A 2-car wreck.
Yeah, that's a very, he really did get loose right around the start-finish line.
That's very odd.
I mean, at that point, we assume he was full throttle, so not, but again, interesting. Maybe it was this damage, maybe playing with the handling of that machine, but regardless of that, leaders down pit road yet again. If Ryan Hartz will be able to hold the lead here, actually he will not be able to hold the lead regardless, because we had John Kennedy stay on track. But off of pit road, it looks like it will be Ryan Hartz. He will be second back on the speedway as long as the 89 decides to stay out there.
He's ran, the 89 at Kennedy has ran 20 laps.
And a good portion of those were under green, so let's see.
Looks like he will be coming down. He's on the apron now.
Could have just been doing it for the bonus point. Remember, you get a point for leading a lap, so every point matters over the course of a long season here to get yourself in the playoffs with a chance to win the championship at the end of the season. And he will get that pit stop complete and give Ryan Hartz your lead yet again. And now Scott Eckrich will be in the 2nd position. So math forgiving, I believe we have 46 laps to go, and as long as we are under green, 46 laps at Dover will flash by and not much time at all, so maybe it's a little premature to do it now, guys, but take your picks.
I'm gonna have to go with Ryan Hartz. Ryan Hartz has just been very consistent all day.
I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, and that's kind of go a little bit, not to say into left field, but avoid the obvious. I'm gonna go with Brian Yazik in the 55, who's methodically got himself into a pretty good position here tonight. And Evan Black must have ran and got a hot dog, so we'll have to get his
yeah, he's
get his
out of the booth. I don't know, he drinks like a gallon of water within 5 minutes, so.
This broadcast is not sponsored by water, so He just likes it.
It's not sponsored by a generic water brand.
Nope.
Quick thing to note, really quick, Mark Emerson behind the wall, he is done for the night. Alex Geese is also behind the wall.
Alright, so that will trickle the field down to about 24 or so drivers actively on the racetrack right now. We have 20 on the lead lap. And Evan Black, really quick, now that you're back from that hot dog or whatever break you were on, take your picks. Take your pick, singular.
I'm going to go with Hearts.
Ryan Hart.
Taking my pick.
How was that hot dog? Not as good as a Martinsville hot dog, but I'm sure Dover must have some good ones. What do you know? We've been doing this too long.
Yeah, apparently. These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready for the restart once again. Don't mind our banter here.
Waiting for pace car to pull down in the pit road. It does. Now waiting on Ryan Hartz to get on the throttle. Starts it early. We're back underway here at Dover International Speedway.
And the 88 got a very good start. He, in fact, probably got a better restart than the 59 did in terms of momentum. And he stays right to the bumper here through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Hartz is getting a little bit high out of 2, and that gave Eggers a pretty good run down back stretch.
Hartz trying to stay consistent.
Here comes Jared Mogard, guys. Sorry, Jared Mogard underneath Brian Yazik. This is for third. That pass is complete very quickly, so let's see what Mogard can do with the top two.
The 88 and the 59 trying to battle it out now. That's got Ryan Hartz, your current leader, and Scott Ackridge right behind him in the 88 machine.
Yeah, the top two have pulled away by about maybe 3/4 of a second or so, but I think Mogard actually has something to work with. He's starting to gain a little bit of contact nearly between the 59 and the 88 as the 88 dove it in turns 1 and 2.
Hartz holding his ground right now. Coming down, we've still got quite a few laps left in this race. I mean, you know, but these guys trying to get up and go right now.
Yes, they are. They're not playing around. They know that 40 laps around Dover is not going to be very long at all. They need to make these positions up while they are relatively close to them. I'll tell you, the pit crew repair ward of the race is going to go to Sam Maxwell, I believe, in that 98 machine. He's in 9th, and he's taking a look to the back bumper of Harnish. That's going to be for 7th spot.
Yeah, he doesn't have a hood, but he's still out there.
Turning pretty good laps.
In.
Battle going on from the 4th to the 6th position. Ryazik, Sarah, and Gianni all in tight quarters racing down the back straightaway. I think that 20 of Sarah may be faster than Yazik, but he's got to find a way by.
Back up front really quick. Ryan Hartz is starting to pull away from Scott Eckridge once again.
I don't think if
laps to go now.
If you're an 88 fan, I don't think there's any reason to take too much concern to that, because we do know how that number 88 tends to run over the long haul. So let's see if that trend does continue. Tom Gianni has dropped a little bit off the back bumper of the 20, but still a good run for Gianni nonetheless in the 6th position right now. A little bit ways back, we have some activity going on. Alan Young is side by side with Jeff Ward, who is pretty far back in the pack. I don't know if I missed something there, but what happened to Ward? But Ward's all the way back in 15th spot right now.
Looks like he may have gotten a speeding penalty.
Yeah, that'll most certainly do it to you. So that's a catastrophic mistake, as some contact between the 27 of Ashland and the 41 of Knott off of turn number 2 there. Nearly led to some contact, but they were able to carry on. It's a little right behind that battle. Foose in the 42 took a look to the inside of Ward, nothing doing, but now was that Alan Young to the inside of Foose into turn number 1.
Alan Young easily gets by Foose, not quite. Jim Foose fighting back on the outside.
Yeah, Foose is managing to hold on up there. I wonder if that outside lane is finally starting to prevail, finally getting some rubber. Oh, a big wiggle there from the 24. He will lose that spot, and potentially one to Scott Holler. Holler will back off, so Alan Young not going anywhere with that spot as of yet. But we do have a battle shaping up again between Yazik and Sarah. That is for the 4th and 5th.
Sarah taking a look down into turn number 1 under the 55 of Yazik. Yazik's getting a pretty good run out of turn number 2. He will clear.
Look at the lead that Ryan Hart's gains now.
Yeah, he has figured something out. Let's pull up the battle tracker. Last time round, a 23.98 versus a 24.13, so that's about 0.2 faster for Hartz, and he has inherited a 3/4 second lead from it. We never talked about weather conditions today. It is a little chilly here at Dover, 69 degrees, 80 on the track, so there is a little more grip here than normal for these drivers. A little bit of a wind here that may have been coming into effect as we have a 10-mile-an-hour wind here today. I wonder if that's helping, if that is causing a lot of the looseness we're seeing here tonight.
Hartz is still continuing to pull away. He's now up to about a second lead.
Now, is he just that good, or is he just burning those things up, burning those tires up? And we have, oh, thought we had a caution, but a lot of activity just went on there. But anyways, I'll tell you that the positions between about 7th and 11th have gotten right to the back bumper of each other right now. We have Jason Stewart. He has right behind him Mitch Brown and David Howard Jr., who are side by side through 3 and 4. And it looks like, guys, that outside is, I don't think it's preferred, but it's definitely able to hold their position and defend.
Yeah, inside the line, getting a little bit worn in now and heated up. Now the outside starting to come in.
David Howard Jr. is still holding on there versus the 81. You can see the 81 just drifts up in the center, but he cannot obviously go up any higher because he does have to leave that room for the 14. And that's just allowing that 14 car to keep himself in that position. And then you have Jeff Ward right behind this trying to figure out where to go.
And now the 14 looking to the outside of Jason Stewart into turn number 3. They're side by side. Now Jeff Ward trying to get under the 14.
Yeah, Ward is just blocked right now. Oh, that doesn't look like he will be anymore, as the 11 just rolled over, played dead, let them both by. So Ward back into the top 10, but you know, he wants more than that. He deserves more than that. I just don't know if he's going to have time to get there.
Yeah, Ward in the 90s, been fast pretty much all nights, but he fell back, and you know, he's got some catch-up to do.
I'll tell you, Sarah, he's been taking some stabs at Yazik, but every time he does, he just seems to lose the nose, maybe overheat the tires, falls back a little bit. You can see a little bit of a wiggle there through 3 and 4 as he drops back about 0.4 of a second off the back bumper in the 55 rather. Get my numbers mixed up there.
Yazik got pretty loose out of turn 2. Then I showed to hold his momentum.
Kind of a surprise from what we saw in the beginning half of the race. I mean, I don't think we talked too much about Hartz till he got that advantage on pit lane, but he has been able to take the lead via the pit stops and just take full advantage of it, up to a 1 1/4 second lead here. As the laps tick away, this has turned into the Ryan Hartz show.
Yeah, 25 laps to go at the line. Hartz still continuing to pull away from Eckrich.
Ryan Hartz is a driver that we see on our other broadcast on the Hardline Racing League. We see him on Wednesdays and Friday nights. He's a successful driver over there. We haven't seen what he's made of here in the ASRS series, but tonight may be the showing for the number 59, but let's not call him to the victory yet. He still has 23 laps to go. We don't know if we're done with cautions yet. It's the Monster Mile. Anything could happen. Any mistake could put you in the wall, take you out of it. As we said, we could have caution that could surprise us all. So don't write it in the books yet. There is still a lot to race for.
Looks like the field, for the most part, pretty much all spread out.
Seems to be the case as Mogard has fallen about a second or so off of the bumper of Ekrich, which was for the second position. Remember, he was taking a little bit of a shot too. He was gaining some time, but has lost it all. Jacek has gotten himself a little bit of a gap on Sarah, nothing too crazy, but a little bit of breathing room. Then we have Gianni about a second and a half behind Sarah. And we'll go back to Jordan Harnish, who has Jeff Ward, who has closed on him. So that'll be a battle we could focus on here for the 7th position.
Jeff Ward looking to the inside of Harnish. Harnish is getting a pretty good run out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Good player.
Yeah, Ward's going to have to make that bottom work. We know how it has been the preferred groove for a good portion of the race, but as the tires wear and as the track heats up, these drivers are finding some grip up on the top of the racetrack. So the 90 will have to put in a little bit of extra effort to make this pass complete. Dives it right to the bottom of the racetrack here as the 54 washes up all the way to the edge of the groove. Come off turn 4, Ward will have a pretty decent run, but the momentum on the outside will carry the 54 to clear. Ward will dive it all the way in, kind of do a little bit of a slide job here. Will the 54 pull a crossover? No, he will relinquish the position, so Ward up to 7th.
$18 laps to go for Hartz, and it looks like Ekrich is starting to close in.
A little bit. The battle is about 1.25 seconds still. As 2 chasers in the Cup Series in the Truck Series last season, Foose and Stewart here, they are in what looks like it'll be a battle for 14th and 15th. And Jason Stewart also was in that championship race at Homestead that we covered. So 3 of those 4 chase drivers are running, 13th, 14th, and 15th right here.
Now, guys, for the lead.
Devin Sarah did get by Jacek. Tried to cut you off, Brandon. Oh, but Sarah got really loose out of 2.
And here comes Jacek, not playing dead. He's trying to get that run as the 20 lost his momentum. That is all for naught. Brandon, you had a point going, it sounded like.
Yeah, no, for the lead, even if Ekrich is going to catch Hartz within this final few laps, it's not a question of whether he'll catch him or not. Can he get around him for the lead?
Well, let's just kind of prove our first point right now as the laps as the lap has been completed. We will give the advantage last time to Ryan Hart, so it was about a second, but that was a pretty big wiggle on the back straightaway from Hartz. But to pass him cleanly is going to take about 5 or 6 laps of setup work, and if Ekrich can get there, he's not going to have that time to play with.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if he'll even catch him at this point. Ryan Hartz is just dominating right now and running very, very consistent lap times. Ekrich gets really loose down the back straightaway, helping Hartz even more. But as you said, Corey, for any pass around here, it takes a few laps.
You have to assess where the driver in front of you is weak, where he may be a little stronger than you, and what you can do to set him up. Last time by, the top 3 were all within 2/100ths of a second, so that 1.1 second gap for Ekrich is not going to get depleted off of that kind of a minimal gain. The action still is going on, though, in the middle of the top 15 right now. We have the 21 machine Scott Smith to the inside of Jason Stewart. That
Hart's
is,
got really loose out of 2.
Wow. Yeah, good save by Ryan Hart.
and he's
he did get
Eckrich all the way up the track in the Larson lane here into
I've
the.
seen a few drivers up there. I've seen him and Mogard up there, and they've been making some pretty good time.
Every time I focus on something else, but it looks like someone's happening up front, so we got to keep our eyes on this battle as it may be shaking up. The lead is now within 3/4 of a second.
Eckrich in
Jumping
the
to
wall.
outside wall. Wow, no, that narrows that down quite a bit. Eckrich losing a lot of speed out of that race car and tearing apart the whole right side.
He just got major loose and just corrected it, and it just wiggled itself more and more to the wall, and that was pretty hard damage for him.
10
now
laps
with
to go. I
under
think
two-
that's going to be it.
Oh,
for
huge wiggle.
Wow.
Eckrich will not be able to catch Hartz unless there is a caution.
And now he's going to have to deal with Mogard to even hold on to the second position. Mogard is, I don't know if he's a faster car, but he definitely has the better tires right now, as he hasn't obviously upset them in the way that Eckrich has. It'll be 8 laps to go, and you can see how high these drivers have moved up the track trying to find grip. Huge wiggle again into the wall in the front straightaway for Eckrich. Caught oh my God, that's gonna throw out the yellow.
Flag is out. The 88 machine. Oh no.
More net code, it looks like.
Let's go back on PTR replay and see what we can find out, as he was trying to pass Scott Haller.
Guys, that was contact. From what it looks like, the 5 machine got loose, came down across the rear bumper of Eckrich.
Yeah, Haller all the way to the outside wall here, trying to let the 88 pass, and I think he was just a little further off the wall than Eckrich was expecting, and that caused that little bit of damage as Eckrich was trying to clear and move up the track.
Eckrich did keep going with minimal damage, however.
He's still in 3rd.
Wow, so
He's staying out, along with Mogard.
Because you figure we're going to go back racing with, I'm going to take 4, maybe 3 laps to go, and there's always that chance that we don't even continue too far before we have a race-ending caution. So it's a risk, but
one thing that concerns me about this, guys, is wheel spin. We're going to get a lot of wheel spin on the restarts. We got a ton of wheel spin even with fresh tires. It's going to be 3 times worse with the tires that these guys have on.
I mean, let's take it into a strategy sense for Mogard. If Mogard gets horrible wheel spin and stacks up the field, he could wreck everybody behind him without even touching anybody and get the win the race that way.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a strategy by any means, but it could be a side effect of, if he gets a bad start, how it affects everybody else.
Looks like 5 drivers ended up staying out.
Yeah, we have Mogard, we have Scott Eckrich, who, after that interesting situation he found himself in, Jeff Ward is back in 3rd after falling to the back about a little over halfway through the race. Devin Serra and Jordan Ashland all staying on the speedway. So yeah,
We know this will be the last restart, but we don't know it'll be the last caution.
I could tell you my pick is on fresh tires in 7th. I'm not too sure if it's going to work for him, but who did you guys pick again? You guys pick Ryan Hartz, and
We picked Hartz, but since Brendan has it, I'm going to change it. See?
do we have we don't have a rule for that.
No, so
Well,
he can do it.
usually we don't do that.
Yeah, but I already had Hart, so
And you didn't know. Okay, so Evan, you just don't get a point this week.
Rip.
And our broadcasters' point standings that we haven't been keeping track of, you don't get a point.
Oh no.
Yes.
is this like the show where the points don't matter?
We don't want to get copyright.
exist.
We don't want to get copyright infringement from Disney or ABC, so we can't bring that up, Brandon. Or Viacom, whoever owns that show of improvisation.
The show of improvisation.
I am not getting any
say that.
I'm not getting copyright infringement on this channel. I'm not offending anybody, and I'm not getting copyright strikes. So that improvisation show that was on TV show, we will not copy that. The banter we have.
Don't you love it?
Did you have any? What did you have on that hot dog, Evan?
It was really nice. It had just about everything you can put on it.
Food.
Are you getting hungry now, Brandon?
Always.
Well, you're gonna have to wait about 10 minutes, Brandon. We got a little more time to wrap up on tonight's broadcast as we have the one to go, and we are in for what could be a very hectic restart.
They're 3 wide. What is going on?
I have no idea. Hopefully they can get us.
There's someone, I think someone got a wave around there last second. He'll have to.
Not by league officials.
Tom Gianni just started hitting people and shoving his way through.
Wow, I don't know what that's about.
But regardless of that, we have not delayed the green, so we will go back.
So pace car ready to make its way down into pit road after that very strange incident. Jared Mogard here on the front row. He's on the loud pedal. The 88, big time tire spin. These guys 3 wide.
Oh no, here they go.
Back it up. Wrecking, huge wreck down into turn 1. Ryan Hart goes around. Big pile up. Caution is out. That'll end the race.
And that wheel spin didn't even happen from the guys that we thought it was going to happen from.
Oh, well, the 88 machine had big time tire spin. Those guys were checking up, trying to avoid him. That was a stack up all the way from the 4th corner down into turn 1. Ryan Hartz was the first one to go around from the 20 machine.
Yeah, you can see it was from Sarah on back after the incident.
A lot of drivers not happy with each other right now. Devin Sarah saying that he shouldn't have gone under him, but where else was there to go? I mean,
Yeah, we're trying to dissect this from every angle we can, and you just see it from Sarah to the 59, and he went underneath. Like I said, I don't know what other opportunity was presented there, so it's just a matter of everyone going for it on a final restart, and obviously it didn't play out, so we will take the white flag under pacing conditions, and Jared Mogard just has to go 1 more mile, and tonight's race will be his.
Jim Foose running in 4th after that.
wow, yeah, he got through that wreck and gained a ton of positions from it.
And Jeff Ward, remember the back to the front race, will end up finishing, to be honest, about where he would have finished if he didn't get that penalty.
Yeah, good run from him.
Scott Krutz as well. I mean, so it was kind of a yo-yo race, but in the end, I think the results aren't really too erratic for how the race played out. At least for the top 3 anyways.
So as the pace car is heading down through turns 3 and 4, we are going to be displaying the yellow checker together here on Jared Mogard. The 00, he's been fighting all race. He's been trying to stay consistent all race, running in the top 5. And, well, Jared Mogard will be your winner here tonight at the Dover International Speedway as pace car bringing this field across the line. Checker yellow in the air now.
Jared Mogard using a little bit of strategy, a little bit of luck, and just a little bit of hectic driving through those final restarts and all that wheel spin, he is the one to pull off the checkered flag in the win here tonight. So we offer him our congratulations for that. We will step away and try to grab some of these drivers for some post-race interviews, so stay with us.
Just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, you know, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, you know, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, you know, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and, you know, all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to, you know, learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now, so I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot, so it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, you know, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, you know, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting, you know, slick. You know, areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then, you know, you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. You know, the tear-off feature is really cool. You know, watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to like look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
And we're back here on PTR TV for what is the post-race show after what was a very interesting and hectic ending to the race here tonight. We have the 4th place finishers, 2nd and 1st that we can speak to tonight. So Evan Black will talk to the 4th place finisher of Jim Foose.
So Jim, you come home with the 4th place finish. What are your thoughts after this race?
Man, I have no idea how we got a 4th place finish out of that. We were terrible at the beginning of the race. Just you know, it's real slick out there, and I didn't want to be the one to cause the big wreck, and we missed them. So I guess that's how we got a 4th place finish. But sometimes I felt like my grandma could probably drive a little faster than me.
Did you have many close calls out there with how many big wrecks we had?
I think we had 1 or 2 that were pretty close. One of them happened right behind me, and I thought I was going to get clipped, but avoided that. And then there were a couple spinning cars from the wrecks that were way up at the front. I mean, we were very patient, kind of tried to ride around about 20th all night long and just stay out of trouble, see what we could get.
On that final restart, did you think you would come home with a 4th place finish?
No, I figured that they'd probably be hooking the wrecker up to the Brant Professional Agriculture Chevy.
All right. Well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Just say hi to my dad. He's in Michigan this week for work and watching us, and everybody that watches these races, thank you. And thanks to Jared Mogard and Twitchy Race Reports for sponsoring it and putting on a good show for us here.
All right. Thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your 4th place finish.
Thanks. We'll take it and head to next week.
Now, Corey will talk to 2nd place finisher Jeff Ward.
All right, Jeff, so you won last week. You had a good run at Richmond, and it was kind of an interesting up-and-down race for you today. You finished 2nd overall, though, so just kind of wrap up tonight's race for us tonight.
Yeah, Corey, luckily was able to get back to 2nd there at the end because we didn't have a good segment of events there, speeding on pit road, and got some damage when Drew and Nick got together. That didn't help the front end of the car, and so circumstances just kind of helped us get back up towards the front. And that last caution, I didn't really want to see that. I kind of wanted to see it go those final 2 laps. I think we could have maybe tried to make a run at Jarrett. Of course, those guys back there on new tires might have run us down too. But congrats to Jarrett. He was in the right place at the right time and made a good strategy call there to get the win. But all in all, man, another top 3 finish, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so really you couldn't ask for much of a better start to the season. Is this what you predicted for the start of your season going into it? Did you kind of think you'd be running as well as you have been?
Well, the start of last season, I was actually racing another league, but the start of that season I had a bunch of DNFs, so I told myself coming into this year I'm going to focus on getting top 5s, top 3s, and just try to stay consistent and stay out of trouble, just race for points. And with doing that, we've actually been able to get a win so far and a couple 2nd place finishes. So I think just staying out of trouble is pretty important. These are long races, and it's important to be there at the end and try to make something happen. So yeah, I'm glad we was able to start the season this way. We've avoided several wrecks that we could have easily been in. So it's a little bit of luck and just a little bit of trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, so you're 3 for 3 on the podium with us, so you're definitely doing something right. So who do you want to give a shout out to for tonight's finish?
Just thanks to Loud Pedal Motorsports. I think my teammate Scott probably had maybe the fastest car tonight. So just give a shout out to them. Give a shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. American Sim Racing, Jim, all the guys that make it happen. And just thanks to friends and family.
All right, thanks, Jeff, for the shout-outs, and congrats on the finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, and now Brandon Krutz will talk to tonight's winner, Jared Mogard.
Yeah, out of the race car now, your winner here tonight at the Dover International Speedway, Jared Mogard. And Jared, you come home with the victory here tonight, man. How do you feel?
Pretty lucky.
I'm sure it's been an up and down night for everyone here. Tell us a little about your night so far, man.
We started out alright, and I don't know, I felt like we had a top 5 car, and we got lucky and missed a couple of them reps up front with the leader with Cohan and a couple other guys, and just really we got lucky, and we were looking like we were going to be 3rd, maybe 2nd. We were running down -8 there toward the end, and then we got the yellow, and I don't know, I took a gamble. I knew it was going to be just a couple laps, and I took a gamble. I figured there would be some people that would stay out, and tire spinning so easy. I kind of banked on a wreck right off the restart to look into a win, and that's what happened, so we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your thinking in that final call there.
I figured I didn't think the leaders were gonna pit, but I figured I can maybe fake the leader out, which I did, and then I figured some of them guys caught the back would maybe stay out and try and luck into a good position or a good finish there at the end, and that's kind of what happened, and the leader went down, and we stayed out and just tried to jump this, or not jump the start, but start the race earlier to get that advantage, because it's a little bit easier if you get on the gas in the corner rather than wait until you exit there with the transition. So it was worth the shot, and it worked out at the end of the day. So we're definitely going to take it. It's been a less than stellar start to the Cup season for my standards anyway.
Nevertheless, Jared, you come home with the victory here tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, I gotta give a shout out to Carla, our team owner. She's battling some illness and stuff. We got some stuff going on, so we just want to give a shout out to her. I don't know if she's watching or not, but if she is, we're thinking about you, so you get better soon. And just gotta thank my sponsors, Victory Race Reports, Kaufman Racing Graphics, and lastly, Maxed Out, all my teammates, and Chris Smith, team owner. And we're just rolling, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come. And I just gotta thank Jim for the league and you guys for doing the broadcast in 2018. It's gonna be a fun run for sure.
Awesome, Jared. Your winner here tonight at the Dover International Speedway, the driver of the number 00, Jared Mogard.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Alright, so that is the top 3 tonight. Well, actually not the top 3, 1, 2, and 4. So let's wrap up coverage tonight with the final results here from Dover. Your winner tonight was Jared Mogard in the number 00 car with his victory tonight. And then in the second position we had Jeff Ward, then third Scott Eckrich, fourth Jim Foos, fifth Ryan Hartz, and then running at the top 10 Brian Yazik, Scott Smith, Alan Young, Tim Knott, and Jordan Ashland.
John Kennedy finishing well with Jason Stewart in 12th, Mitch Brown in 13th, Sam Maxwell in 14th, Tyler Seville in 15th, and then David Howard Jr., Jordan Harnish, Tom Gianni, Devin Serra, and Scott Hall ran at the top 20.
We'll give it a moment for the rest of your results to flash across the screen. And as always, we'd like to give it a little bit of support to our sponsors, starting them off with Movement Fabrications, a family-run business formerly established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, we offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Movement Fabrications is a ventilation service and trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two-man overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel sign with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison at iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, shout out to Hartz Corporation. Also, to keep our broadcast quality high and cost low for league owners, we need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a Patreon, you will get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV.
Alright, so that's another broadcast here on PTR TV. We brought you the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series. Hope you enjoyed tonight's action from Dover. Make sure to check out NASCAR Night here on PTR TV. That'll be coming up very shortly. You don't want to miss that. We will be having real-life drivers, some NASCAR staff members. They will be racing against our league members here on the PTR community of drivers, so you want to watch that. Stay tuned for that on our social media. Should be a huge event. Signing out of the booth tonight is Corey Silva, Evan Black, and Brandon Krutz. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night.
Catch you next time.
Clear.
Huzzah!
As Facebook ends with Facebook ends on the white flag lap.
It's actually not bad because they just don't get it early.
Okay, can you guys? All right, where's Joe?
Joe's here.
I need to.
Bye, Joe.
Rip Joe.
Other Joe.
That was
Brendan, your other Joe.
I just need somebody who's not logged into Google to check this damn form, because people are saying it's not working and I don't have any reason why.
I can check it. Hold on.
Okay.
Someone just posted saying, "Hey, well, let me edit it," but why did someone just edit it 10 minutes ago? Well, like Brian.
Okay. I can edit it.
You told me
I
to
double
drag you
click
in,
on
Paul,
it.
so I
You're
did.
still live on YouTube.
I'm not.
I can edit it.
Yeah, we are.